also unwillingly abandoned their younger children in maternity hospitals in a bid to save the lives of the older ones.
In a world where danger and power are predominantly linked to male dominance, women often find themselves relegated to the sidelines, cast as the gentler, less threatening sex. This prevalent perception, however, fails to encompass the entire narrative. Their tales diverge sharply from the common script. Their lives and actions stand as testaments to a level of danger and power that rivals, if not surpasses, many well-known male figures. They are more formidable and influential than most stories that have been passed down through the ages. So, we invite you to journey with us as we unravel the captivating tales of the dangerous women who have ever walked this planet.
In New Jersey, Governor Whitman has posted a $50,000 reward for her capture. Meet her now in Cuba.
Number 1. Samantha Lewthwaite, popularly known as the White Widow, is a name that resonates with dread in many intelligence communities worldwide. As a British national, her trajectory into the annals of global terrorism has baffled many. Born amidst the tranquility of Banbridge, Northern Ireland on December 5, 1983, fate took an ironic turn when she married Jermaine Lindsay. He would later become one of the perpetrators behind the devastating 7/7 London bombings in 2005. The world watched aghast as she emerged, portraying herself as a shocked and grieving widow, distancing herself from her husband's heinous act. However, as investigators began piecing together the aftermath, startling connections emerged. Samantha, rather than just being an innocent victim by association, seemed deeply entrenched in extremist activities. Reports and intelligence sources began painting a picture of her links with Al-Shabaab, an extremist jihadist organization causing havoc in East Africa. Her name came up repeatedly in various terror plots, the most notable of which was the chilling 2013 Westgate Mall attack in Nairobi, Kenya, where numerous innocent lives were lost. What befuddled many was her unlikely profile. How could a white, British-born woman become such an influential figure in global jihadism? Her alleged orchestration of several terror attacks made her not just a subject of immense interest, but also a figure of significant concern in international security and counterterrorism circles. By 2021, while debates raged about the depth of her involvement and the scope of her influence, there was a consensus on one thing. Samantha Lewthwaite, the White Widow, was an individual whose purported actions have signaled immense potential danger, making her a key figure of interest for security agencies around the globe. Number 2. Tamara Samsonova, chillingly nicknamed the Granny Ripper by the media, is one of the most sinister figures to emerge from Russia in recent years. Born in 1947 in the quiet region of Uzhur, Krasnoyarsk Krai, USSR, nothing in her early life indicated the dark path she would later walk. Beneath the seemingly harmless facade of an elderly woman lay a mind with a terrifying inclination for violence. Over the course of 2 decades, Samsonova's crimes cast a shadow of fear, turning her into a gruesome legend. The moniker Granny Ripper wasn't just a sensational media title. It was a testament to the brutality and cold-blooded nature of her crimes. The idea that an older woman, often perceived as a figure of nurturing and care, could commit such heinous acts sent shockwaves throughout communities. It struck terror into the hearts of many. What made Samsonova particularly terrifying wasn't just the frequency or longevity of her criminal spree, but the macabre nature of her offenses. Detailed diaries found at her residence chillingly became testimonials to her actions, indicating premeditation and a lack of remorse. The juxtaposition of her age, gender, and the grotesque nature of her crimes created a discord that was difficult for many to fathom. By the time her deeds came to light, Tamara Samsonova had not only marked herself as a dangerous individual, but also redefined the very understanding of what a serial killer could look like. In a society that often dismisses the elderly as harmless or frail, she is a grim reminder that danger can lurk where least expected, challenging conventional perceptions and leaving an indelible mark on the annals of criminal history. Number 3. Phoolan Devi, often referred to as the Bandit Queen, was a figure of intense controversy and reverence in India. Born into a low-caste family in rural Uttar Pradesh in 1963, Phoolan's life was marred by poverty and social discrimination from the outset. Her early years were filled with struggles, marked by her resistance against her cousin's attempts to seize her family's land and her forced marriage at a tender age of 11. However, it was her association with bandits and her subsequent life as a dacoit that brought her nationwide attention. Kidnapped by a gang of dacoits in her teenage years, Phoolan endured abuse, exploitation, and gang rivalry. Yet with fierce determination, she rose through the ranks to become the gang leader. Phoolan Devi's legacy is encapsulated by a particular incident in 1981, known as the Bemai Massacre. As a form of vengeance against upper-caste men who had brutalized her, she allegedly led her gang to the Bemai village and executed 22 Thakur men. This act cemented her reputation as a fearsome bandit, but for many lower-caste individuals, she was seen as a symbol of revolt against upper-caste oppression. Her actions both horrified and fascinated the country, leading to a massive police manhunt. In 1983, she surrendered and spent the next 11 years in jail, without a trial. Remarkably, Phoolan's life took another unexpected turn after her release from prison. She ventured into politics and was twice elected as a member of parliament. Her transformation from a bandit to a politician was both celebrated and criticized. Tragically, her tumultuous life was cut short in 2001 when she was assassinated in Delhi. Phoolan Devi remains an emblematic figure in modern Indian history, representing the complexities of caste dynamics, gender struggles, and the potential for redemption and change. Number 4. Clovino da Silva, also known as Baixinho or Shorty, was a notorious drug trafficker in Brazil. He made international headlines in 2019 with a brazen, albeit unsuccessful, attempt to escape from prison. In a plan that could easily belong in a movie script, da Silva dressed as his 19-year-old daughter, complete with a lifelike silicone mask, long-haired wig, and women's clothing, in hopes of walking out of the prison unnoticed. The intent was for his daughter to remain behind in his stead. This audacious escape attempt showcased the lengths to which some criminals might go to regain their freedom, as well as the potentially precarious situations in which they may involve their family members. The plan underscored a severe security lapse, highlighting issues within the prison system. However, more profoundly, it also touched on the topic of familial ties in the criminal underworld. Da Silva's daughter in her involvement illustrated the complex web of loyalty, coercion, and perhaps desperation that can exist within families deeply entrenched in criminal activities. Unfortunately for da Silva, prison officials saw through the disguise, and his escape attempt was thwarted. The event's fallout was swift. Shortly after, da Silva was found dead in his cell, an apparent suicide. The ramifications of his daughter's involvement in the failed escape attempt remain a poignant reminder of the profound personal and societal implications of organized crime. The incident, while sensational in its audacity, is emblematic of the broader issues related to crime, familial ties, and prison systems in regions grappling with high levels of organized criminal activity. Number 5. Emma Coronel Aispuro, often in the global spotlight due to her marriage to Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the notorious leader of the Sinaloa cartel, has herself become a controversial figure in the intricate tapestry of international narcotics trade. Born in 1989 in California, Emma possesses dual U.S.-Mexican citizenship, which placed her in a unique position straddling two cultural worlds. Her connection to organized crime began early, with her father, Inez Coronel Barreras, being a mid-tier operative in the Sinaloa cartel. Her marriage to Guzman in 2007, on her 18th birthday, was a significant event. The wedding, in the highlands of Durango, Mexico, was an elaborate affair, symbolizing not just a personal union, but also a merging of powerful narco families. Throughout their marriage, Emma, who is considerably younger than Guzman, often portrayed herself as a devoted wife and mother to their twin daughters. However, beneath this facade, she was not entirely distanced from her husband's illicit ventures. Emma's role in the Sinaloa cartel came under intense scrutiny after El Chapo's arrest and extradition to the U.S. She was present throughout his high-profile trial in Brooklyn, a silent yet potent figure whose very presence drew media attention. It was during this trial that allegations arose regarding her involvement in Guzman's dramatic 2015 escape from a high-security prison in Mexico. The complexities of Emma's life were further highlighted when, in February 2021, she was arrested at Dulles International Airport on international drug trafficking charges. Her arrest reinforced the idea that she was more than a passive observer of the cartel's operations. Emma Coronel Aispuro, with her beauty queen looks juxtaposed against the backdrop of one of the world's most violent drug cartels, embodies the enigma of women's roles within the world of organized crime, where loyalty, power, and danger intertwine. Number 6. Miyuki Ishikawa remains one of the most chilling figures in the annals of criminal history, not just in Japan but globally. Born in 1897, she is often referred to as the demon midwife due to the unspeakable crimes she committed in the post-war era of Japan. As a licensed midwife, Ishikawa was expected to bring life into the world, but instead, she became a harbinger of death for possibly hundreds of infants. The destitution and poverty that pervaded Japan after World War II created a backdrop for her heinous acts. Many families were unable to afford the care and upbringing of their children. Exploiting this desperate situation, Ishikawa, who was employed at the Kotobuki Maternity Hospital, began orchestrating the deaths of a significant number of newborns, often under the pretext of sparing them from a life of suffering. These weren't acts of mercy, however. They were driven by a dark combination of indifference and greed. The scale of her malevolence came to light in 1948, when police stumbled upon the remains of 5 infants. A subsequent investigation tied these deaths to Ishikawa, but what was even more horrifying was the realization that these were just the tip of the iceberg. Conservative estimates put the number of her victims at over 100, but some speculate the actual count could be in the thousands. The Japanese legal system, ill-equipped to deal with crimes of such magnitude at the time, handed Ishikawa a mere 4-year prison sentence. Her husband and a physician, who were accomplices in her crimes, received lesser sentences. Miyuki Ishikawa's story is a stark reminder of the depths of depravity to which a person can sink, especially when societal conditions create opportunities for malevolence to flourish unchecked. Number 7. Maria Licciardi stands as a notable figure in the annals of organized crime, not just for her operations, but also for breaking the gender barriers in the heavily male-dominated world of the Italian Camorra. Born in 1951 in Naples, Licciardi ascended to power in the late 1990s and early 2000s, becoming the head of the Licciardi clan, one of the prominent families involved in Naples' Camorra syndicate. Unlike many women in her position who might have been relegated to the sidelines or used as mere figureheads, Licciardi was actively involved in the operations and strategies of her clan. Under her leadership, the group expanded their criminal activities, which spanned from drug trafficking and extortion to illegal waste dumping and loan sharking. Licciardi's leadership was marked by a keen acumen for business, as she streamlined the operations and maximized profits, making her clan one of the most influential in the region. However, it wasn't just her business prowess that solidified her reputation. Licciardi was known for her ruthless approach to handling rivals and informants. She was a force to be reckoned with, ensuring loyalty through a combination of fear and respect. Despite her dominance, the world of organized crime is fraught with betrayals and battles. Licciardi's reign faced significant challenges, particularly from rival factions aiming to topple her control. In 2001, her criminal empire started to unravel as she became a fugitive from the law. However, her evasion was short-lived, and she was arrested later that year. Maria Licciardi's story is emblematic of the complex web of organized crime in southern Italy. It's a testament to her ability that she not only survived, but thrived in such an environment. As a woman at the helm of a major criminal operation, she shattered stereotypes, leaving an indelible mark on the history of the Camorra. Number 8. Melly Stanley. Unlike figures entrenched in the world of organized crime or international fame, carved a unique niche for herself in the realm of reality television. Recognizable from her appearance on the American reality series Gypsy Sisters and its precursor, My Big Fat American Gypsy Wedding, Stanley offered viewers a vivid glimpse into the often misunderstood world of Romani Americans. Born on June 24, 1989 in Pennsylvania, Melly's larger-than-life personality was evident from the outset. Dubbed the black sheep of her family, she was notorious for her fiery temper, no-nonsense attitude, and her penchant for getting into confrontations, both verbal and physical. These very traits, though polarizing, made her a standout character on television, drawing both criticism and fanfare. The Gypsy Sisters showcase the intricacies of Romani traditions and culture in the context of modern American society. Stanley, alongside her family members, navigated the challenges of relationships, motherhood, and societal expectations, all while grappling with their cultural identity. Mellie's tumultuous personal life, marked by ups and downs in relationships and her struggles as a young mother, played out on screen, making her a relatable figure for many. However, life after reality TV was not without controversy for Stanley. She faced various legal troubles, including charges related to fraudulent coupon schemes. Such incidents, coupled with her on-screen antics, painted a complex picture of Mellie, who became emblematic of the challenges and contradictions faced by many reality TV stars post their fleeting fame. Mellie Stanley's story is not just about the highs and lows of reality television, but also underscores the broader societal fascination with peering into the lives of others. It brings to light the often blurred lines between reality and scripted content, and how personal narratives can be both a boon and a bane in the age of constant media scrutiny. Number 9. Joanne Chesimard, more commonly known by her adopted name, Assata Shakur, is a figure who has long been at the epicenter of intense debate, admiration, and criticism. Born on July 16, 1947 in New York City, Shakur's life has been characterized by her deep involvement in black activism, particularly as a member of the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army. During the 1960s and 70s, racial tensions and civil rights movements gripped the United States. Shakur, like many of her peers, felt the pressing need to be a part of the struggle against racial discrimination and police brutality. Her activism, however, was not without its controversies. She was known for her strong advocacy for armed resistance, which put her at odds with both the authorities and some factions of the civil rights movement. In 1973, Shakur's life took a dramatic turn. She was involved in a shootout on the New Jersey Turnpike, an incident which led to the death of a state trooper. Convicted of murder, she was incarcerated, but in 1979 she managed a daring escape from prison. With the aid of her allies, Shakur eventually found asylum in Cuba, where she was granted political asylum in 1984. While living in exile, Shakur has been a symbol of resistance for many, often cited as an example of the extreme measures the U.S. government would undertake to suppress black activists. However, she remains a contentious figure. To her supporters, she's a beacon of resistance against systemic oppression. To her detractors, she's a fugitive and a criminal. Assata Shakur's legacy is complex. Even as she remains on the FBI's most wanted list, her writings and speeches continue to inspire a new generation of activists. Her story is a testament to the tumultuous era of the 60s and 70s, and the lengths individuals would go to fight for their beliefs. Let us know in the comments which of these women's stories shocked you the most.